It's time for an inside look at the most powerful motorsport on the planet. WFO Radio, NHRA Nitro.
WFO, everybody. Welcome back to NHRA Nitro Podcast. Joe Castello with you, and you are burning through the post-Chevrolet Performance U.S. Nationals winter views on WFO Podcast and the new format, right? I'm still interested in it. Like, wow, we're doing it differently. We're doing it probably the way we should have been doing it from the very beginning, but we're doing it this way now. And I'm getting positive feedback. Hopefully you are as well. For instance, a perfect example is our guest on this version, this edition, this file, this show, however you want to say it, is Meyer. And Meyer is a friend of WFO for a long, long time. And we've been following her career literally since her first national event and her licensing. We've been following along with Meyer. And she won Indy. A couple of years back, she runnered-up to Josh Hart. She's had a couple of close brushes with, greatness. And now she is in the championship hunt and also a U.S. Nationals winner. So we're going to hear from Meyer, one of the great young racers with a lot of star power potential on this edition. So stick around for that. And, of course, remember, the archive is loaded with our interviews, including John Force. If you didn't hear John Force, John was spectacular and not the typical John Force interview. I know some people are like, well, I've heard it all before, John Force. You haven't heard John Force win Indy for the 5th time. You haven't heard him win his 151st race. John Force, kind of in a special place. And it was great. Great interview. You can go back and find it in the archive. You can also find all our other guests. Alan Reinhart did a great job. That is all in the WFO archive. Subscribe on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on Stitcher, wherever you get your podcast, Google. But we also have these mobile applications that you can download as well. Go to WFOradio.com. That works as well. And there's a list of all the different ways. SoundCloud, if you're a SoundCloud person. All different ways. And it's all possible because of our sponsors. We do have sponsors. This is a sponsored podcast. I usually take about a minute 20 to just put them in your mind. Put them in your mind because the holidays are coming and you're about to need stuff. Like, for instance, maybe you got somebody who is building an engine, right? And you want to buy them a great Christmas gift. Total Seal piston rings, the leader in ring seal technology. Not only do they do piston rings for any application, including custom applications, but it's all built right here in the United States of America. They have tools as well, some of the best in the business. Go to TotalSeal.com. MagicDryUS.com. Kind of hard to make that one a Christmas gift. It's true. But if you got a shop, if you're working in a factory, if you are in a situation where industrial spills or spills are a problem, Magic Dry is made out of coconut. It is extremely lightweight, so you can travel with it. And it does a great job, 560% of its own weight in absorbency. It is the official organic absorbent of the NHRA and the support Scott Palmer and WFO. So MagicDryUS.com, get on it. Frank Hawley's Drag Racing School, the Dragster Adventure. That's what I think is the best, over-the-top gift. You give someone this experience. They're going out to a racetrack. The school travels around the country. You go out there with Frank. You make 1 half-track, 2 full-track passes in a dragster with a big block Chevrolet sitting behind the roll cage, doing burnouts, staging the car, all of that stuff. Great experience, hanging with Frank, Dragster Adventure. Go to frankhawley.com to find out more information, and they do give gift certificates. So you present it to your loved one or friend, and you say, I love you, here it is. You're going on the Dragster Adventure, wherever you choose. You decide, whichever one's coming close to you. You can find out more information by going to frankhawley.com. Call them, tell them you heard it on WFO. Rodak's coffeeandgrills.com. Marvin Rodak, great buddy, great friend, longtime sponsor, but really, he is a coffee maestro. The guy is amazing. Creating blends that are drag racing themed, that are roasted fresh per your order. And you start your day with a little Rodak's coffee. Plus, the hot sauces and the spice rubs. The habanero endorphin booster hot sauce is the best hot sauce I've ever had in my entire life. Even the empty bottle looks amazing because of all the chunks of the good stuff in there. And, of course, the spice rubs. Go to Rodak's coffeeandgrills.com, RODAKS coffeeandgrills.com. And remember, Dallas, AAA Texas Fall Nationals. That's Marvin's race. He'll be out there working on cars and hanging out, and maybe we can do a hangout with Marvin. Hangstafers, metalworking lubricants, Hangstafers Laboratories, since 1937, making your job in the shop easier. We're talking about machine shops, so you'll have better surfaces, and your cutting bits will last longer. You'll have better surfaces. It's a much, much more efficient process with Hangstafers, and the best in drag racing do not lie. They agree on Hangstafers metalworking lubricants. Check them out, hangstafers.com. Samtech.com. Samtech.edu, the School of Automotive Machinists and Technology. Samtech.edu. For all you young people out there, become a high-performance engine builder, blockhead, CNC programs, motorsport, EFI tuning, all of these things. Samtech.edu. And don't forget, there will be, don't forget, there will be a new Samtech.edu Factory Stock podcast with Bill Skillman, the winner of the Chevrolet Performance U.S. Nationals, and his Cobra Jet Mustang. Maybe parity has been achieved. We will see. We will see. All right. Joining us now, she won Indy. Megan Meyer, welcome back to WFO Radio Podcast. How does it feel?
It feels great. Thanks for having me back on, Joe.
Yes. Well, I feel like you deserve to be on this time. This feels worthy of having you back for whatever reason.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit.
Yes. So this is something that you did not get easily, and you had to experience a little, a brush with it a couple of years ago. A little, you made the final round against Josh Hart, and you didn't get to drink from the chalice of victory, right? You had to taste the burn of coming so close. Was that a little motivation, having had the close brush, having been there before and coming up short?
Yeah, it is. And, looking back, maybe it wasn't the right time to win the race. We're so close with the championship right now. This is exactly what we needed, and it came at the right time for us. Now, if I wouldn't have Redlet and Brainerd, we would be leading the points right now. So Sean's got just that extra win on top of me, but I have some more races that I can compete at this year than he does. So we're going to try our best to get the advantage and just continue this momentum.
See, I was not going to bring that up. You brought that up.
Yeah, but I'm over it now. I've Redlet so many times before. It just happens, and you can't just dwell on it, or else it's going to ruin the rest of the year. Right,
and if Troy hadn't Redlet in the final, maybe you wouldn't have won the U.S. There's no way to sort out the way the whole racing cosmos works. It's just you just got to ride it.
Yeah, for sure. And you know what? I mean, sometimes you win because you're the best car out there, and sometimes you just get luck, and we've had both situations happen every time. And, last weekend in Indy, I think that we were the best car every single round, and it would have been a really close race in the finals if TJ hadn't Redlet. He might have got the win because we both ran 25, but, if we wouldn't have dropped a hole on that run either, we would have been faster than him anyway. So, it is what it is.
It is what it is. Exactly. That's a great way to say it. Let's. You know what's funny? We're going to go through your round by round because you had some close races and interesting races. It was a crazy weekend in terms of the schedule. A little bit of a bummer it didn't get to happen in front of the big crowd, but whatever. This one is special for its own reasons. We got the whole race in. But what I thought was funny is during final qualifying, we, as in NHRA and myself, were doing a social media, like a Facebook Live from the staging lanes, and the weather had knocked us just totally out of schedule and out of sync. And hopefully our listeners are going, watch NHRA's Facebook page, because every once in a while something pops up. And we decided to go live from the staging lanes in the dark and just work our way car by car back and, see people, drivers, and waving. And there you are. You're hanging out under the arch, not in your car yet, because it was going to be a while. And you end up in this great, very playful smack talk with Woody from Jegs, right? And he's like, you're nothing, and you're like, you're nothing, and you're laughing, and you guys are having fun, but you could see there was it was fun. It was two competitive people representing their brands, and that's who met in the final round. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, for sure. And, Woody and our team have gone ways back, and, every time me or my dad talk to him, it's just all fun and games, and even though we do smack talk a lot each other, it's because we know that we have both of the two best A-fuel dragsters in the world, and that's why we're sitting 2 and 3 in points. And, he made the comment about we needed to slow down or something like that. And, they just happened to get the number 1 qualifier right after that session, which we're all, we're happy for him and the McPhillips team. And, we're still happy that we got second qualifier. Just a little bummed that it put us on the same side as my sister, though.
Well, exactly. And so let's dive into eliminations. But that's the point is I feel like we covered top alcohol dragster pretty well leading up to the drama. First round, though, Jasmine Salinas, that was a scary run right there. You're 057, she's 069. She runs a 527. You ride with a 1. You run a 526 with a 9. So she was right there the whole way down.
She was, and, you know, Arthur's got a great car, and I know Jasmine is getting better every single race that she goes in. She's still new, but she's still getting better. Her reaction times are getting better. And I know that she watches my GoPro videos, and she studies how I stage and all that. And so, but, you know, I just went into that race just acting like it was just anybody else out there. You know, I didn't want to play games or anything like that. And not that I do that anyways, but I just treat her like she's one of the other guys. And, you know, for some reason, we've just been dropping holes every run. And that run, it got really close, but we had, you know, just enough in the finish line just to get around her and take the win.
Exactly. Big victory. And at that point, meanwhile, Josh Hart, who served you up a defeat in the final at the U.S. Nationals a couple years ago, takes out the points leader, Sean Cowie, in the first round. And so, you know, Josh has been involved, and that opens the door for everybody now. I know the alcohol dragster alcohol points work a little bit differently. He doesn't really lose ground, but he can't gain ground, and you all can, and you did. Second round of racing, going up against Dwayne Shields. You took out Dwayne, 0:48 reaction time.
Yeah, exactly, and I just want to say that we did drive Josh a little bit. We gave him a bunch of pretzels after that win, so...
yeah, and by the way, the pretzels, I had the pretzels. Your dad gave me a bag of pretzels. He was doing the right thing, walking around. And it's funny because I know that's Rachel's sponsor for the most part, your NGK, and we'll talk about that because I was hanging with Layla on the starting line. But the pretzels are great. Everybody was talking about these pretzels, and the pretzels are legitimately really good. Someone said that they're addictive, and they might be.
Yeah, no, they're delicious. They have that buttery garlic flavor that everyone loves. And my dad feels like he's Santa Claus because he loves just passing out those bags of pretzels to everyone. It just makes him feel good.
So funny, so funny. So you take down Dwayne Shields. Rachel beats Krista Baldwin. And just looking at it, there was you, there was Rachel, there was Krista, there was Jackie Frick. Like the A-Fuel dragster category is almost half lady racers nowadays, that's kind of cool. But that sets up the big semifinal matchup between you and your sister.
Yes, and I just want to go back to Brainerd. I believe almost half the field was female, so that's wonderful for us. But yeah, going up against Rachel, I know that she is the only other driver out there that, you know, can go head to head with me, and neither of us like to play games with each other. We just, you know, just try to go up there and each just do our best, even though we are talking smack the entire time before it. And she had some problems. She couldn't get the car to back up after the burnout, and so the guys ran up there and pushed her back, and then she got it rolling. And so, you know, we were going to sit there and wait for as long as we needed to because we wanted her to run. And so we'll let them do their thing, and we staged and pre-staged, and, you know, they got a little bit slower. And I think with having those problems after the burnout, it got the clutch really hot. So that made things a little bit worse for her. But, you know, just because it's my sister, we're not just going to throw the race away. And I know I need the points, and she's not really racing for national points, but, you know, her dream is to win the U.S. Nationals too. And so she was not going to back down just because it was me. And so we had to be the best car that round, and we were. Just so happened that I was racing against my sister.
Exactly. Well, you know, there's no way to avoid some people thinking that. It's just automatic. It's sad, but it's automatic in drag racing. There's be some people that always assume the worst. But didn't she take you out at the Jegs All-Stars or something? Like, there has been evidence. Like, Rachel Meyer, I think there's less chance that she's going to give you anything than maybe even a stranger. You know, like, she wants to beat you because it's you. You guys have a thing. And it's
yes,
it's
we
good.
do have a thing. And yeah, she beat me when we were in Louisiana for a regional race, and it was the final round. And if you go back and look, every single time that we've run each other, and we've had to run each other like 4 or 5 times this year, which we never did run each other until last year. It's been like within thousandths on the finish line. Like these cars run exactly the same, and a lot of times it's just whoever cut the best light got the win.
Now, let's dig a little deeper, because you win the race, you're going to the final round, but I'm sure people are wondering, like, if your sister beats you and goes to the final round of the U.S. Nationals and it really damages your points situation, that's got to hurt. That's got to hurt. How do you separate? And you've had the opportunity. Like, how do you separate? And this is true for all family members. Like, yes, my family member damaged my opportunity to win a championship, but I love them and I'm okay with it.
Yeah, and I would still be okay with it, because the way how the point structure is, you get to throw away 3 races as long as you improve. And so right now, my worst is the first round from Topeka. So as soon as I get to second round, I'll throw that race away. And then my second worst is the semifinal finish. So I just have to make it to the finals to throw that one away. But then my next worst finish is a runner-up. So I have to win a race to throw that race away. So, maybe it would have helped me if I lost in the semis, as long as the next race I can win it and throw that one away. But anyways, yes, Rachel has beat me before, and I've been so happy for her. And even like 2 years ago when she won her very first race, and I had lost early on, so I was on the starting line with all the guys cheering for her, and it was one of the happiest days watching my sister win her first race. So, even though we're rivals and we have our thing against each other, I'm still really happy for her when she does win. Which
is great. And that's why when we are talking about the Summit Racing Equipment Junior Drag Racing League on the microphone, I always tell the parents out there, this sport, whatever it does, it teaches people to win and lose with class, like difficult situations like this, to lose and still be happy for someone, as opposed to other sports. There are kids that lose a game of tiddlywinks and they're furious, right? They're angry. They knock the board off the table, that kind of thing. This sport really discourages that, and because you form such great bonds, and in your case, it's a family member with your competitors.
Yeah, and I remember when we were racing juniors that there'd be times when you're racing against your best friend in the whole wide world, and you do not want to beat them just because you would feel guilty about it. And then they feel the same way towards you, and then everyone just messes up, and it's just whoever crosses the finish line first wins. And but you know what? At the end of the day, you're all one big family. We all race together almost every single weekend. We all see the same people all the time. So, like us beating Shields, yeah, he was bombed, but, they're still happy for us to be able to go on, because we've known Dwayne and his guys for as long as I can remember. And so whenever we lose, we cheer them on. And whenever they lose, they cheer us on. And it's just because we're all family.
Well, exactly, and I think that's an excellent. It's one of the reasons we're all involved in this sport. Final round, you and Troy Coughlin Jr. A lot of things going on. You already just said that. You would have been able to replace a race and improve your score already, but this is Indy, and being a runner-up Indy twice, that's not good. And so you're staging up there, and there's nobody in the stands. Everyone is left for the most part. It's a very surreal experience, and this is for it all. Take me through it.
Yeah, so, we're in the lanes just shooting the shit with each other. I mean, we were out there talking donuts, which I just posted that on my Instagram yesterday. And, I respect TJ a lot. He's a really good racer, and every time we've raced against him, I think I've won, which not trying to brag or anything, but, for us, that's an accomplishment. And Richie and his team, they have a great car, and they've got it dialed in. So, 1 and 2 qualifiers make it to the final round, and we get in the lanes, say good luck to each other, shake hands, suit up, get in the car. And then my guys kept coming up to me, and they're like, calm down. don't worry about who's in the other lane. Just do your thing and race your race. Don't worry about that it's the final round. Don't worry about that it's PJ or, don't worry about points, anything. Just focus and do your thing. And that's, what really helped me out. And so for some reason in Brainerd, whenever, I got into the car and they said something similar about that, I got really cocky and I was like, don't worry about it. I got this. And then I red lit. And so I knew, right after I had said that, I knew that something was going to happen. I was going to lose the race. And then I red lit. So going into the final round at Indy, I was a lot calmer. I was not real nervous, but, just a lot going on in my head. Oh my gosh, this is Indy. We could get points. I'm racing against TJ again. Just all the stuff's going on in my head. And, but I stayed calm. I stayed focused. I stuck to my routine, and I cut a good light, but I did see his red light, so I immediately knew we had won the race. I just stuck on the throttle for the whole way down just to see what it would run. And it, again, dropped some holes. We only had like 270 miles per hour, which is slow for us, but, the guys are going to test the car this weekend to try to figure it out to see why it's dropping holes. But I was so excited at the top end. And, I might have said a cuss word on TV with Amanda. I don't even remember what I said afterwards. I got out of the car.
You're in good company if that is in fact the case. It happens from time to time. That is,
yes.
Well, that is tremendous. Yeah. John Force was very proud that he didn't cuss on TV after winning Indy. He comes into the media center. He's like, I didn't cuss on TV, which is great. So you're now an Indy winner, which changes. Does it change a lot? Does it change a little? I don't know what it changes, but when you win the U.S. Nationals, you are part of an elite club.
Yeah, and, for us, like the points don't change and things like that. That's all the same as if it was just any other race. But it's a huge accomplishment to say you won Indy because all of the best drag racers go there. I mean, it's the biggest drag race. It's the best of the best. I mean, to us, Indy and the All-Stars are the two biggest races that we race at in the year. And we've tried for decades to win this race. And with my dad originally being from Southern Indiana, we have a lot of family that comes up to Indianapolis to cheer us on, and a bunch of his old high school buddies that he hasn't seen in, 30 years. And, it's just a really special race to have everyone there with us. And a lot of them did leave because it was like 9:30 Monday night when we ran the final round and they had to go home to go to work on Tuesday. But for the ones that did stay and for them to be able to celebrate in the winner's circle with us is really special, and for them to have those memories too. And, I don't know if it will open any new opportunities for us, but it is something that we can put on our record to say that we won the biggest drag race of the year.
And it's got to make NGK super happy, and they were going crazy. That whole group were on the starting line, and they just, they experienced it with you. My note about people who come out to the race and hang out with racers and then leave before the final round, I'm against that. I know they're your family and all, but come on, work is not that important. It's just not. You could be a little tired. The 1.5 hours or 2 hours, it's just not that important because you got to stick around, man. Think about the experience they could have had celebrating with you out there in the winner's circle, on the starting line, in the photos. It would have been worth it. It would have been worth it. Whereas Tuesday morning was just another day of work. That's my public service announcement to all you people who go to races and hang with racers and then leave before the final round. But I'm just being playful at it. Now, what about these donuts, though? That's what everybody wants to know. What were you talking about, donuts? What do you mean, donuts?
Oh, man, I am just the biggest. Sweets are just my thing, and whether it's donuts, cookies, brownies, cake, whatever, I love it. So with this wedding coming up, I got to get on a diet, but I love donuts, and all my best friends bring me donuts to the racetrack, and so Troy loves donuts too, so it's just something that we had in common. We were talking about the little frosted chocolate donuts in the bags that you buy at the gas stations, and I've ate a whole bag of those before morning, but I go and run later on so I can burn it off.
You mentioned wedding coming up. Yes, you're engaged since the last time we had you on.
Yes, I got engaged about 2 months ago. We were out in Colorado on vacation up in the Rocky Mountains, very romantic. And I've been having a lot of fun planning a wedding right now. And it's going to be in April of next year. So I'm going to be doing it the weekend of Vegas National because we don't race that weekend. We don't go out there. And so it gives me like 2 weeks off so I can have a wedding, go on vacation, then go down to Houston to race.
That's it. Lives planned around racing, including weddings. That's drag racer life. Megan, congratulations on winning the 65th Chevrolet Performance U.S. Nationals. Big win for you and the fam. Great seeing you do it, breaking through. Before you came on, I was just talking to the audience about, we've been following your career since the very beginning, like licensing and your first runs, and now you're an Indy winner, and that is very cool. Mm-hmm. I congratulate you. I think it is great.
Yeah, and thank you, Joe. And I remember, doing my first interview with you, and I just was a nobody, and I mean, I'm still a nobody now, but I've got a couple wins under my belt now, and, I always just love catching up with you and sharing my side of the story with you and the audience.
Well, thank you for that. And that is exactly the point. Yeah, I kind of forgot that was your first interview. And great stuff. No, and I don't want to say that you've come a long way because there was never a time you didn't just lay it all out there for the audience. And that's one of the reasons I love speaking with you, because you just make it plain, right? I guess that's a Kansas thing. You just make it plain.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, Megan, congratulations. Won Indy, and now you're in a points fight, though. Now it gets tough, right? You got Troy, Sean. This is a tough fight. A lot of races to go. Go out there, get them. Good luck.
Thank you very much. My next race will be Reading, and then I'll head to Charlotte and Dallas, and then I'm done for the year. So, and then I think Sean is going to be doing Vegas and Pomona and skipping those 3. So I got to do the best I can at these next 3 races and then just sit and wait and see how he does.
Yikes. That will be interesting. Well, all right. I'll see you in Reading. That's next week. We'll see you there.
All righty. Thank you again, Joe.
There she goes, Megan Meyer, Indy winner at the Chevrolet Performance U.S. Nationals. And a full debrief, even the donuts. And I like those gas station chocolate frosted donuts as well. But they're not as good as an amazing Krispy Kreme donut, like a hot, fresh Krispy Kreme donut right at the right time, 3 a.m. after a night of being out doing questionable things. Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. But yeah, give me a donut anytime. Sometimes they'll bring donuts into the race control, right? And it's I should not have these. I should not eat these donuts. I am going to have the willpower to stay away from these donuts, right? Wrong. And then you dive right in and you have a donut, and you eat a donut. And then later they're still there. And nobody else is eating the donuts, and what's wrong with you people? And then you eat a second one. But that's it. 2 donuts a day. That's enough. Thanks to Megan for coming on the show. There will be more WFO Radio NHRA Nitro interviews coming forward. You will hear them. They will be great. And it is all because of our sponsors like samtech.edu. We're going to speak with Bill Skillman on Factory Stock Podcast. Just search Factory Stock Podcast on Spotify or Apple Podcast. Factory Stock Podcast. Also, Hangstifer's metalworking lubricants for, cutting, machine shop. More efficient, better surfaces, tools last longer, a million reasons. Rodax, coffeeandgrills.com, Marvin Rodak, hot sauces and spice rubs and everything good. We're heading down to Texas, by the way, and Marvin Rodak going to be down there. And you should definitely order a little Rodax coffee and hot sauce and spice rub as you head that way. Frank Hawley's Drag Racing School, the Dragster Adventure at frankhawley.com. Check it out. Go on the Dragster Adventure, or maybe even get your Super Comp license. Who knows? Magic Dry U.S. for those industrial spills or your shop or wherever you work. Stop using the kitty litter, man. Use the cat spot for cats. Use Magic Dry for your shop and get off that clay stuff because it's bad. Bad for you. It's bad for the environment. Bad news bears. This is made out of coconut and is much better. Plus, they support Scott Palmer and WFO. And Total Seal Piston Rings, the leader in ring seal technology, will make anything you need absolutely custom. High-performance engine builders use high-performance rings, and that technology filters down into the road cars. Total Seal Piston Rings. Go to TotalSeal.com. All right. More WFO Radio in the archive. Keep your eye out for those push notifications for the next WFO Radio interview coming soon.
WFO! The views and opinions of the hosts, guests, or callers do not necessarily reflect that of the station ownership, advertisers, or agencies.
I love WFO radio.
Oh, yeah.
You're working in the shop, you've got spills, you've spilled oil, it's everywhere. What are you going to do? I know what you're going to do, but that's not the best way to do it. The best way to do it is to go to magicdryus.com and order the official organic absorbent of the National Hot Rod Association, Magic Dry. It's lighter, it absorbs more, it's better for the environment. It's made out of coconut. It's made in America. magicdryus.com. They've got spill kits that include everything you need for a regular, normal household spill, all the way up to a large industrial spill. We always say, if you've got a cat, get Cat Spot. If you've got a shop, if you've got a factory, if you've got a spill, call Magic Dry. That's magicdryus.com. The one thing that top drag racing teams agree on is Hankstafers.com. Hankstafers metalworking lubricants are going to make you more efficient in the machine shop. It's going to save your tools, it's going to improve your surface quality, and it's going to make you quicker and more efficient. Go to Hankstafers.com to find out more information. Hankstafers metalworking lubricants since 1937.
This is Sean from Traverse City, Michigan. You ever get done with an episode of Ignition or Nitro and say, man, that's a good job. I'd like to give them a pat on the back and a cold beer. Well, with Patreon, you can. So send that drink down to Gio and Joe.
This is WFO Radio.